What's up everybody, Dan here with the Waterscapes in Florida at Bush's Wildlife Sanctuary. We're building for black bears, we're building for otters, and we're even building for a tiger of some form later in the week as well. So we've got a small little pond going in here, as you can see down below me. Biofalls and things is set, ready to go. There's a big team of contractors from basically North America coming in, and it's basically seeing what's going down. And so yeah, let me just give you a little spin round and show you what's going down.
Everybody, you ready to go today?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well,
Hold on, that didn't sound very good. Are you guys ready to go today?
Yeah!
All right.
So we have a beautiful day here in Jupiter Farms, Florida. We're looking forward to doing some incredible stuff. But this pond over here, talking about the North American river otter, it is a riparian species. That means it lives on the boundary between the water and the land. It's going to go through both. The system that they had here before was a temporary blue tub. It was 500 gallons. It was 2.5 feet deep. Otters still enjoyed it. They would jump in and out of it. They're very agile. So they were having a great time, but the water was brown because there was no filtration, there was no circulation or anything like that. They knew we were going to be building something, so they kind of held off. Maybe they did. We are going to be working on 2 different features today. We're going to have 2 teams of people. You can go back and forth between the 2. There's a pathway going around the outside perimeter, around the outside edge of the bobcats to lead to the bear exhibit. What we're going to do is we're going to be finishing up the rock work down in the bottom of this pond. We want to get the intake bay taken care of as well as all the river rock, and we're going to start finishing up the edges. So for those of you familiar with the zoo world, the animal keepers, they spend a lot of their time percentage of it taking care of the water features for their animals. Every single animal on planet Earth needs water, including us, everything. So water features, you're going to see a water feature of some sort at every exhibit here. So these 2 that we're building right now are going to be the fully functioning aquascape ecosystem. The zoo is very, very excited about it because it's different. We have had great success with different zoos around the country. We're doing different projects at zoos all over the place for a wide variety of animals. So we are gaining some traction, which is great. And what I love about it is they get school kids coming through here. They have tours, they have all types of local people. Thousands and thousands of people on a daily basis are going to be coming through the facility. So for them to see a functioning ecosystem with animals interacting with the water the way nature intended is just awesome. So I'm really, really excited about it, which is why we're actually here. Tomorrow we'll probably focus on landscaping and cleanup work. Over on the back side, we have a lot more stone work that we have to do. We have some big boulders to install around the outside perimeter, and we're going to systematically work our way up through the waterfalls, and by tomorrow afternoon we will have completed water features as well as landscape.
You did it. Let's go.
Is standing. What we're going to try to do, so these logs are going to clearly float. So what we're going to do is we're going to backfill behind this with more of the brick, top it off with a little river rock, and then we're going to anchor this log down with a large boulder. So that's going to give us the ballast that we need. Now once the logs get fully saturated from being underwater, they won't float any longer. But we have to hold them down until we can get to that saturation point. So we're going to get a big boulder here. We'll do the same thing on that side. We're going to layer in more of that brickwork, and then we're going to come in with more of these logs that we have, and we have to work our way up and out.
So left hand frame rock and spill's gone in, went in pretty well. This lovely little notch, as you can see here. So the guys are now just pinning this one in on the side. Watch your hand, and then basically you're gonna get it like that with tilting it a bit. You'll find a chunk to get on that, and then what we're gonna do is then probably get a log or certainly another couple of stones through here, maybe something to anchor in this area to stop the whole of the basin, which is what I'm on, shifting that way, because obviously if bears want to come in and play around or whatever they do, you know, they've got I don't know, 6-inch, 20, 200 mil long claws and big pads. They're going to just be pulling and chunking around and diving and whatever else they're going to do. So we're going to make sure all of these are locked in, extra secure, even more secure than what we would if we were doing a rec pond. So it's looking pretty good. Good progress so far. It's getting a bit hot. Forecast weather, which is nice, but yeah, it's looking pretty sweet.
Pull it this way, your bucket this way a little bit. Give me a little bit, just to straighten it. Keep coming. A little bit more.
So we're just having a bit of a lull moment where we're waiting for a machine to move some stones and things. So just going to spin you around, and Ed's going to give you the brief of why we're doing this, how he's done it, and why it is seriously important that zoological societies throughout the globe start to understand the importance of having a ecologically balanced, enriched environment in their enclosures.
All right, so what we have going on here, Dan, is we are doing a full-blown ecosystem pond.
Sweet.
So the system that was here before was basically a drain and fill type of a system, which is very common in the zoological world. You have a vessel of some sort, plastic tub, concrete basin or something like that. You fill it up with water, you drain it every day, every other day, you brush it out, fill it up with fresh water. The thing that I think that is interesting about that is most associations are actually set up on municipal water systems. So municipal water has chlorine added to the water, which is an oxidizing agent, and it kills off bacteria and enzymes and things like that, which is the exact opposite of what we want to do. Animals are supposed to be immersed in living water, so we want to create water the way nature intended it.
Sure.
We want to have living water. We have all the nutrients and all the different elements inside that are going to be important for life. And the animals that we found are actually much more comfortable in that type of an environment. They actually become part of the exhibit itself. So the species that we're working with here are going to be these Florida black bears. They love water. Bears in general love water. So we wanted to create a really unique little plunge pool for them. We have a nice little walkway going down into a deep area down at the lower belowest portion. It's approximately 3 feet deep. We have a series of underwater jets down in the bottom. The reason we have that is we want to create like an upwelling area. That upwelling is going to move sediments and debris over into an intake bay. That's going to allow the heavy stuff to actually fall out. They could remove it with maintenance, and then from there the water gets recirculated up to the very top where we have our biological filter. The other couple things that we're going to be doing here is we're adding in beneficial microorganisms and bacteria on a routine basis because we want to get full microbial colonization. So it's a really, really important element in order to get that desired water quality. I'm really looking forward to these animals actually interacting as much as possible in this. We've tried to make a few things easier for the zookeepers by automating a few of the different things. One of them being a drainage system inside the biofalls that they can periodically open up a valve just to remove some of the solids and sediments that are going to accumulate in the sedimentation chamber at the bottom of the filter. All part of the filtration system, like I said, trying to make things easier, better for the animals, number one. Number two is going to be better for the zookeepers. And the third piece is all the people that are going to be coming by on a routine basis, looking at these beautiful animals. And this is the main viewing area, so we wanted to position everything front and center so these bears can be on display the way they should.
Sweet. Cheers, Ed.
All right.
So these black bears, they've been rescued, and normally this place rehabilitates animals and releases them into the wild whenever possible. But any animal that can't be rehabilitated is kept here. So these two black bears here, one of them's got arthritis, so they're not very agile at all. And so to get out, they've made these gorgeous steps going up through the logs here. To get out. I think that's really sweet. So they've all been screwed together so they're not going to move anywhere. But otherwise everything is pretty much how you would build any other pond, which I think is pretty awesome. To show how just locking bricks together, you can see here they're just backfilling, but also the more backfilling creates this sort of more solid connection between all the rocks. And so here we've got the waterfalls being created. So over here we've got where Phoenix is standing, she's inside the biofilms right now, so the water's going to well up like it would in a wetland, and it's going to come out, waterfall over here, fill up this little pond, this pool behind, and then this rock is incredible. It's got this dish shape to it, so it's going to be amazing how the water's going to sort of channel through before coming into the pond.
This is the intake area, so all the water is going to be drawn into this space. Debris and things are going to float on top. That then situates the pumps and things that then go up to where Brian is there. Waterfall is going to come down, comes off here, gnarls through there, splits and goes through there. They've got loads of little interaction areas for the otters. They're apparently really good climbers. They're North American otters, not short-clawed, which I thought they were. It's actually larger, so they love to climb, and they've had to cage at the top and everything because they ended up losing one who it did come back eventually, but yeah, loved to climb. So you've got this little beach entry here, and obviously all the members of the public are coming through this space. And so yeah, loads of little bits they can jump and dive in and swim on, and just have fun, and just sort of be, and exert natural behaviours, which is exactly what you want in a naturalistic looking environment, which just is pretty awesome, to be fair. Day 2 with the Florida Black Bear enclosure. We're at Bush Wildlife Sanctuary. Yesterday I had a fantastic day. Everyone got stuck in everything. We managed to rock in the entirety of the pond, and then so today we're going to be doing a few little finer tuned things. We're going to try and actually put some plants in. The keepers said that why not try plants, so we're actually going to try and see if we put some plants in. They might rummage around and pull them out, but there's only one way to find out, so we'll give that a go and see what goes down. So today we're going to be jumping on the waterfalls. It's only a small, so about 2 metre-ish long, over about 40 centimetres, something we're used to building loads back home. So there's some nice big boulders. We can try and use as little as we can, and then see how that all comes together. Not really much to say at the moment. When people start arriving, we'll crack on. So these are the pools we took out, right? It's like they're quite big, right? They must be 3 foot deep, but you can see the gunk in the bottom, right? Yeah. And obviously accumulating gunk, but there's no filtration, or there's some form of drain.
That's just a drain.
And you just, how is that enriching a wild animal to exhibit natural behaviour? And that's, these zoological parks throughout the globe need to be educating, not educating, but at least enriching the animals, and then educating people that come and visit and show them, what environment they should live in.
All right, so why are we looking at this rock?
So this specific rock here is going to be one of our spill stones, hopefully. Characteristics we're looking for is a gnarly top, so this will create loads and loads of white water. So as the water's gushing over, it's going to hit all of these little pits and things where these plants have come. Oxygen, water, bubble together, which creates white water, is going to come across this. It's going to hit this edge. We've got a slight undercut as well, right? So that means the water's then going to fall rather than hug. So it'll hit this edge, come off this. Here where it's a little channel, it might come through and might have a little veil off, like a jug pouring. And then here through is a bit gnarly as well, which is going to get loads of pits and things and chunk off to that space as well. What we do need to is, because we're working with like 25,000 litres, whatever that is, 6,000 gallons, we need to have probably like 18 to 24 inches wide, to make sure. We're going to try see if we can kick it off some of the bigger frame rocks we've got, but our options are very limited, so we just have to try and get a little bit creative. So we've got the other frame rock strapped and ready to go. There's some gnarly textures and fun things and all sorts on it, as you can see. We'll back it across now, and we've already got this one in. This is a big chunk, which I'm going to try and get a load of water over here. Might end up getting a vertical one in behind, just to set our weir, but actually it's probably about right, so if we can get a load of water over that, it would be quite gnarly. And then so the other one's going to come into where I am. This is concrete cloth. Can't remember if I've talked about this already, but basically it's an impregnated geotextile, obviously with concrete, hence the name. This basically, once it gets moisture or slightly damp, it then absorbs it and then cures, and then becomes, you know, a hard surface like concrete. So dealing with bears, they've got really long claws, like maybe 5 inch long claws. So what we want to do is to make sure when they are playing in here, which they will, is that we stop them from sort of causing any issues or anything like that down there, and you know, well, ripping a hole in it basically. We've cleaned down, and now starting to get some water back in. Edgings are being done. There's them plugging away, which is pretty cool. So yeah, edging's coming together really well. It's looking pretty smart. That rock's going to come over and we'll crack on. Cool log area. So this is the Iris Louisiana. You guys would know it from loads of other videos. There's some lobelia in there. It's Cardinalis maybe. That's the Sagittaria on there. Very similar to the native one we have back in the UK. And then the little stargrass. It's a bit of a manic area over here, but that's the little inflorescent type thing it has. But yeah, it's turning out really, really cool. Really, really cool. But if I go over here, hop over the log, pan back up, you'll see actually it's a bit of a manic site. Machine there, top there, everyone working on top of each other. But it's, you know, we're getting there, and we're winning. So happy days. So here we go. Turning on moment. Here she comes.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah. Sweet. Sweet. So there we have it. We have finished the bear pond. It's looking pretty smart. Everyone's getting their sort of footage and final few bits. It's turned out really, really well. Really fun experience working alongside loads of other CACs and Ed running the build. So yeah, really chuffed with how it's come together. So it's probably about a 5x6 pond in the end. It's got the intake bay, I think, which has got maybe 10 aqua blocks in, 1 volt, SLD 5 to 9, so like 30,000 litres of water bashing through, and it's the way the top falls with the pinch and things, and the sheet on the bottom. Really chuffed with how it's come together. Really fun working with a lot of the team to bring that one together. And yeah, so I'll just cut to some shots, and we'll be releasing the Otters soonish, which Team Aquascape, Brian's been leading the other side, and then yeah, obviously Ed the Pond Professor's been leading this build. Utterly insane, really, really fun project, and love how it's turned out. So we've tried to make this as interactive as we can for the animals. So here we've got a log jam effect steps, which you've just seen earlier in the video, coming down, really nice, easy access for them. We found this gnarly piece of boulder here with this hole in it, and actually the idea with that now is that we're going to put in monkey shells and that sort of thing, so they can basically put their arms in, forage for it, have a bit of fun, you know, interact with the feature, because at the end of the day we kind of want them climbing over the rocks, we want them getting in, cooling off, having a bit of fun and doing their thing, you know. So it's making sure that's mostly interactive, and obviously they can enjoy the beautiful sounds of running water. Intake bays looking pretty smart. We've got various plants and things dotted throughout. Iris Louisiana, that's obviously going to fill this space. There's a fern there that's in a little pocket. Something that I've not come across, certainly in the UK, is this bog lily, they call it, and really cool flowers. Definitely going to see if I can get this in the UK, because it's really, really quite funky. Tuberous plant, weird. Loads of shrubs and things have gone around as well, just to make it a little bit more interesting. And then yeah, obviously feature itself at the top. Obviously it's murky now because of the fines and stuff from the soil and things, but you know, as this matures and the filter does its thing, it will clear and give a pristine ecosystem for the bears to enjoy. Easier maintenance for the keepers, and obviously any people that come to see and view these animals here in this really quite large enclosure. Loads of interactive bits, but obviously this is like the most naturalistic thing that they can have, and obviously gives them a great environment to have a playtime. Hey, we're back. End of day 2. We are absolutely finished with the both projects. Otters have been released. They've absolutely loved it. They were in the water within a few minutes, splashing around doing their thing. We're over here with the bears. A little bit more shy actually. I thought they'd be a bit more brazen and come around, but when everyone was here, they I think there's too many people for them to sort of adventure out. It's pretty hot, mind as well. And they've got a nice cool sort of building situated over there. So we're wrapped up here. Absolutely fantastic project. Love how it's come together, mingling and getting involved with everyone and making a real big impact, not just for the bears and obviously for the zookeepers, but hopefully be able to educate and inspire zoological societies throughout the world to actually start to look at the way they think about animals and obviously where they live in the world, so how we can try and at least have a little bit of that biomimicry for them. Within that, every animal in the world needs some form of water, so having a living ecosystem right on their door is absolutely amazing, and hopefully everyone's going to enjoy it. And I'm sure we'll get some footage, hopefully, of them splashing around and playing when they've settled into their new space, because it's been really loud for them, as sensitive as we tried to be. Machines running, stones running, everyone barking orders at each other. It's been pretty loud. They're there chilling out in the back, but to be honest, if I was them, I'd want to be just chilling out of the sun, in the shade, loving life. We'll catch you guys in the next one.